Republicans in disarray. Woo! I know we never talk about that. It's always Democrats in disarray because the New York Times really enjoys talking about that. Not that most of the time what they're talking about is accurate. It is normal political disagreement, in fighting. These things happen. Whereas the Republicans now are pretty constantly in civil war all the time, fighting each other, right? Trump and Mitch are fighting each other. Marjorie Taylor Greene and the Loomer are fighting each other, probably over Trump because he's so hot. He's so cute. Did he pass a note in study hall about me? And of course, we also have Elon Musk. He's in a huge fight with Charisma. And I think Charisma has won and defeated him and left him without. But right now, you've got a number of Republicans speaking out. We saw what happened when Elon Musk sunk originally the House bill from Mike Johnson. And that sent Chip Roy, if you know that bald, crazy mofo, that sent him into a just, he exploded on the floor and started screaming at his own party about how they were responsible for $5 trillion more in debt. And everybody's like, you're not supposed to tell anybody the truth, Chip. You're supposed to hide that. But Chip was just getting started, and he's like, these are Republicans and you can't make excuses, and we're not paying for 110 billion of it. And he went on and insulted his own party, and I would say it was rather enjoyable to watch it. Big one though is Don Bacon. Don Bacon, folks, if you don't know who he is from Nebraska, that 2nd district that we often win in the presidential race. Is a swing seat. And he's been defeated before, but he's won most of the time. He's one of the last of the sort of old line Republicans left who is not MAGA. He has spoken out against MAGA numerous times, and I'm not giving him any medals or awards because he votes with them a lot of the time. But whenever you see like 6, Republicans voted against the rest of the caucus, or 12, he's pretty much always among that group. And he just decided to open up a can of whip arse on his own party, which I thought would be fun to share here. Over at the site Mediaite, if you're responsible with it, they had a whole write-up of what he had to say, went on TV, and made clear the Republican divisions, the fissures, if you will. Not a certain kind of fissures that I can't say out loud here or I'll get demonetized, but I'm getting that. Okay, so Bacon went on with, it's probably Fox, right? Let's see. Who do you go on with? News Nation. They're kind of conservative. I'm not sure what they are yet, but they definitely lean conservative. And he expressed optimism about the next Congress because of the Republicans leaving. Like, that's what he's happy about. He said that declaring the Republican Party would be a little bit better off with, quote, 3 of the most volatile people gone. That's right. 3 of the most volatile people. Who could he be talking about? First guy is a guy named Matt Gaetz. You may have heard of him. A report came out on him recently. And if I were to read any part of that report, I would get demonetized. They demonetized a short that I did about it. I thought again, there were just so many details in there that were hilarious. He's awful, and don't get me wrong. You have to find humor sometimes in certain things because he's so horrible. And I hope that he is prosecuted, although a lot of them are state charges, and I trust the state of Florida as much as, I trust my state of Ohio right now when it comes to being objective about going after Republicans, and that's a sad thing that we're all living through. But in any case, when it comes to Gaetz, I don't know. I don't know what I can say and get away with it. Let's just say there were ladies involved, and there was money involved, and there were, prescriptions involved that maybe he didn't get a prescription written for. And so clearly Gaetz fought with everybody. Everybody hated that dude. So he was one of the ones. But he's also talking about Stefanik, interestingly enough, and Mike Waltz, who I don't even know anything about. He's a congressman from Florida. Seems like a jerk, MAGA, or whatever. So he had to say, they had an ambitious agenda, but it may shrink now because they only have a 217 to 215 lead, and that's not even true. What's her face? I can't remember her first name, but Representative Spartz, the one from the Ukrainian American one from the Indianapolis area, has said she will not caucus with Republicans. And really, I'm not sure she's all there. She hasn't explained why in any coherent sentence, but I don't care. 216 to 215. Good luck, Mike. Mike Johnson's have to spend a lot less time monitoring his son's certain proclivities for various nighttime activities that involve the use of a lot of body lotion, because in the end, he's going to have to pay attention to keeping that 1 vote majority. And I think it's going to be kind of tough for him. They literally have 0. 0 is the margin. They cannot lose a vote. at all. If I were Democrats, I might even go have a talk with Don Bacon or somebody like that and be like, come on. You seen the losers over there? I mean, treat it like a college party. Like, you see the dorks in the corner? Look at them. Look at Marjorie Taylor Greene over there. Look at Lauren Boebert. I mean, you ever seen what she looks like when she's watching Beetlejuice? You want to go hang out with them? And then we would control the House and it'd be hilarious. But we're basically going to control the House anyhow and be able to make any demands we want because they're filled with all sorts of disordered personalities, people who hate each other, people who hate everybody else, people who hate the world for the fact they were born. So they're going to be fighting constantly. It's all they know how to do. Again, I've said before, I said it on Hal's show yesterday, MAGA is flypaper for the mentally unbalanced among us, for the angriest, the looniest. That's what it is in the end. That's why there are Democrats who went over there and Republicans who left, because it's no longer about policy. It was only about how much you hate, resent, or are vicious towards, cruel, corrupt, incompetent. That's sort of the thing that brings everybody together. In any case, Mr. Bacon, Congressman Bacon, which makes me hungry saying his name, but in any case, he went on to say the Republicans would, quote, have to have a bipartisan spirit generally in the House and the Senate as a result of their small majority. That's a nice way of saying the Democrats own us in the House. So if Democrats can just keep it together. And thankfully, we've been seeing a lot of Democrats who've been uniting, who've been tough. I just did the other day one of these Cliff Notes. Damn it! Again, I got to say it right. Cliff Notes on on the Maxwell Frost, who's just ripping Elon apart. Which is inspiring others. I'm not saying everything's been perfect in terms of who they've chosen to, and I've spoken to this already, speak when it comes to certain or run certain chairmanships. It should not be on seniority. It should be on communications, talent, and all the things that actually make us win elections that we should win. But Republicans are going to be in a very, very bad situation in the House. And I like it. Schadenfreude, FAFO, which I talk about all the time now. The FAFO, I'm going to enjoy watching as they attack each other, as Mike Johnson literally has his life, his little fake biblical life ruined. It'll be like a nice hot tub. It'll be like when one of my larger cats, Steve, as he did the other morning, little baby kitty, but he's put on some weight, climbed on top of me, and I had this warm feeling on my chest, like a wonderful blanket was upon me. That's how I'll feel seeing Mike Johnson suffer, because Mike Johnson should suffer. And what's funny about this, of course, is Bacon did not say which three members, but clearly everybody knew he's talking about, which is cool too, because Elise Stefanik, as we all know, she seems like a horrid person. She was like a lot like Nancy Mace. They both faked moderates when they thought that was the thing to do, and Trump was going to end up paying for January 6th. And then as soon as he didn't, boom. They were the most MAGA of MAGA that you could MAGA inside of a MAGA when you're MAGA-ing. So she'll go to the UN, where I'm sure she'll get along wonderfully with everybody, and I'm sure they'll treat her. Remember how they treated Ivanka when she went, and she was like, well, I think it's important that we, and like all the prime ministers just sort of turned away. I have a feeling Stefanik will be like that. And that's pretty much the story. And we'll take this and run with this. Democrats, you're smart. Widen these fissures, open up these fights, get in there, get these folks to self-destruct. It won't be hard. I mean, the gasoline, the kerosine's already all over the place. You just need to toss a match in and look around and see whose side, if you join, will cause the most damage. And kaboom, they're done. And that, my friends, has been Cliff's note for today.